Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Swemp Electronics Football Alliance Division 2. And this is round 16. I'm at the squad of No Place I'd Rather Be FC. And that's because, of course, my commentator, without a shadow of a doubt, is Mr. Steve Wright. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening, mate. I hope you're well.
I'm alright, yeah. Yeah, it's been a nice, well, it hasn't been nice, as it's been an awful day outside. Horrendous weather. But, time for some league action. And it's time to have a look at that league table. We can see Dalgety Rangers, the new leaders in the league table there. 2 points clear of Blues, with Trumpton and Real E now in the top four. Real E have overtaken Atletico Newmills. What do you think about
I think a lot of release based on the defence they've been really tough to break down all season so far. But they're attacking wise, really, they haven't been too bad. I mean, considering I've got the best defence with them, I've just obviously everybody knows where our faults have been. But I think they're. I think it'll be a little bit tough for them to catch Dalgety at top. I mean, looking at that, 12 wins out of 15.
that?
They've been superb this season, but they're in with a massive shout at getting in that top three if they carry on the way they're going.
Yeah, it's a real good set of form at the moment, isn't it? I mean, look at that top of the form table. Those two, Dalgety and Real E. It's huge. And then you look at the bottom, Gondor and Anglais. They're like the bells, don't they?
No, there's quite a few L's in there. I noticed there were a side who were not that good third in that form table as well. So
heading up there, definitely heading up there. And tonight you've got Blues. You've got the Blues. Hopefully you won't have the Blues after today for yourself. But yes, second place, Dublin Blues, who I think their last two games, I'm not sure they've won either of them.
I think really, if you Blues there, if I'd have been looking at not being the Rugby manager, you're playing somebody who's coming into a bit of form. You try to chase that top spot down, looking at the going away at Gondor, with no disrespect to Gondor. You're looking at you need a result if you want to keep a bit of pressure on them to get that top spot.
Well, yes, it seems like a bit of a given for them, doesn't it? But I mean, a few games ago we just said Trumpton versus Otis would have been an absolute walkover, but Otis with Mike Savage in charge nowadays, it's a different proposition. And of course, we never know whether big kids Trumpton formations will be successful or not, but they're always good fun. Let's get into the first match of the day, and it is Danglais versus Roundhay. Danglais, who last time came close against Really, didn't they? Of course, that 900th minute winner, it felt like, from Van Nistelrooy winning the day. And today they've gone for the that is not their formation at all. It is their formation, of course. Yeah, it was a sweeper system, but of course with TT Camara playing as the sweeper in attacking midfield gives him that free role, doesn't it?
I mean, you could tell there's definitely a new manager in because Peter Crouch is starting to get a game, who I felt should have been playing from the start. But it's very non-former manager like. So really interested to see how they go under new tutelage.
Yeah, Pep Boderino, of course, coming in for his managerial debut. We've got Mike Savage and Jim Phillips in the chat, so good evening, you two. Jim, you've arrived in perfect time for your own team's game, of course, round here. You wouldn't want to manage the Danglies, would you? Big Noopy is here. Up the Saturday night. Yes, Red Stripe drinking Division 2 Swemp League managers. Well, why not? I mean, I've got a punk at the moment, to be honest, but I do like an old striper. Mr. Horse and Mr. Right, hello.
Love a red stripe.
Yeah, it's always good fun, always good fun. What are you on yourself, Steve? Is it the Magnus?
No, actually tonight I've got some dark fruits. I've got 4 cans open ready, so I'm not interrupting. But I've got some old mouths to finish off before I go to bed. So I'm making sure there's nothing left before I go to sleep tonight.
Superb. Certainly feeling fruity there, I can tell. We'll get on to this game. Yeah, with Crouch and Garcia up front, that would be something a little bit different. And for Roundhay, they are going out. Oh, yes, Savage, you do like a bit of dark fruits. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's always a good little drink, isn't it? Roundhay last time round they beat Blues, as we'd already seen that. And the formation wise, very little change to the team. All you can see John Terry set to make his debut.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you see a DC stand, no number, you see like a debut. And to be fair, as has been said, I think I've said it in other iterations of different things that go on around. I'm not a massive fan of John Terry in the game at all. I think he put us to deceive, but I do like the look of his side there. I don't like the lack of a DMC. For me, Vieira, I would have had him sat back in that DMC role, but it's a very strong side, and they're picking up some real good form themselves at times. They're picking up some really good results recently. So yeah, they're going to have the work cut out tonight at Danglers under their new managerial setup, but it's going to be a really interesting game.
Regime, we could call it almost. See how there hasn't been no one said up the Danglies yet, so I think I'm pretty sure people still mean it. We'll give John Terry his usual number, I imagine.
Yeah, it's got to do it.
Pop him in. And Captain Rui Costa. I mean, I'd go with that, to be honest, as well. It's not a bad choice. Morgan Norman refereeing. He's one of my favourite named referees in the Swedish league. Prediction, Stay?
I'm going to go for a tight 2-1 late round A win.
Late is the order of the day there. Just like we've kicked off at 25-12. Here we go. And the commentary speed will be really slow, of course, with the new manager in. And from Castle Grayskull, we've got Thierry Henry on the attack, going for it. So it's Roundhay. Certainly looked the team more likely to get an open goal. Henry's had a chance. Oh, good saves. Roundhay to win 4-0 for Big Noopy. That's what he thinks this game's going to be. And, you can't see much more than a Roundhay win as it stands, even though it's 0-0. Dudek is obviously holding on very, very well so far. And a quarter of an hour in, no goals. I do see there's got to be at least 2 or 3 from the amount of chances that we seem to be getting. Henry again. Hit the post. Go on, Steve.
I was going to say it's been a barrage, but they're obviously fighting for the new manager at the Danglers at the minute.
Yeah, definitely doing their best defensively, despite the fact the ratings aren't showing. It seems to be very much the Dudek versus Roundhay attack show. And there's Van Nistelrooy making that breakthrough, but it did take them 35 minutes or so to get in there. But finally, maybe they can play a little bit more relaxed. And towards half time, will there be anything for Danglies, or will it be as it was before? Well, it is half time, so 51 first half minutes. 2 shots, none on target. 18 shots on target. That is incredible. 18 first half shots. You don't see that often, do we?
No, definitely not. I mean, Peter Crouch, right at the very death, pulled himself up from a 5 to a 6 as well, and probably justifying the former managers not picking him. I see Mike Savage has gone for a 2-3 to round A, but apart from last week, there's not been very often that the Danglies have actually turned out more than a goal in a game as well. But to be fair, they're keeping themselves in it. As we know what this game can do, there's still every chance that they could pull a goal back. It's just whether they can hold out from the complete barrage that Round have given them.
I mean, Bischan's lucky to be on the pitch there after squaring it to Vieira. I don't mean necessarily a red card. I mean, the fact that Vieira didn't retaliate has probably saved him from leaving the pitch in some way. So Ronaldinho took on Song, kept running, crossed it in, and Van Nistelrooy with the header. Lovely goal. Danglies, yeah, they're barely putting a foot in. Bischan is doing his absolute best, isn't he, with that 8 in the first half. And Aquilani, all right.
Yeah, I mean, Aquilani, he's been steady. I saw his name mentioned a couple of times. He's one tackle that he's won with a key one as well.
His debut today as well.
Yeah, I think, like you say, if they can step it up a little bit, they're not disgracing themselves considering how much they've been battered as well. So I think considering how much peppering has been on their goal, the defenders are all on 6s, and apart from Dudek on an 8, I think it's a little bit harsh, really, considering how much they've kept him out.
Yes. I mean, you'd expect Dudek to be on a 9 or a 10 if it was just him doing the job. But yep, Dangley's overruling the head, says Mr. Savage. Always the case. And Van Nistelrooy, yeah, he's had 2 chances, 2 on target. Henri's been doing more work. Ashley Cole's had 3 shots as well.
Yeah,
very, very little passing going on.
Yeah, very, very minimal. It seems like not much of the ball, considering it seems like every time they've had the ball, they've just shot.
Shot it.
So,
yeah, we've got Titi Camara's 15 passes is a joint most in the game with Vieira.
I just think, considering there's no individual instructions in this league, why is Ashley Cole having 3 shots? I don't get it at all. It just does not. It baffles me.
I can't remember if he's doing a half pitch run. We'll have a look at 60 minutes and see if he's doing a half pitch run or anything like that. Well, let's crack on. And we're into that second half, and immediately Roundhay with chances. This could be, there's Rui Costa with the second goal. This could be 30 shots by the end of the game if they keep going, but there's a bit of a lull. We'll just check the Dangleys, as you, of course, you should on a regular basis. Yeah, I mean they're just being Dangleys, aren't they, at the moment? And for Roundhay, we're taking a look for Jim. I mean, you are here, Jim. If you want to make the subs yourself, of course, give us a shout. We'll take a look at the team.
Looking at Danglers is they're not that much out of puff. It seems like they look like to be putting a lot of defensive effort in, but they seem to be not doing too much, not too much running. You'd have expected them with how much battering they've got to be a lot less on the conditioning as well. Yeah.
This looks like a Riquelme and Henri substitute. There's no one playing on a 6, and the instructions from Jim was midfielders and strikers with a potential injury or 6 or lower. So I'll prepare the subs, but then of course feel free to overrule me. Yes, an old smidge for Henri, Smudger Smith, and I would assume we might see Juninho, but I'm not entirely on this. Just take a quick look and see if he comes back with anything on this one. But I think Juninho for Riquelme, if it's a potential injury, that was a suggestion. But we'll give him.
I saw somebody on the Legends post about players that never live up to expectation about Alex Smith, saying that they've never had it out of him. But I think he's extremely good on the game.
He can be, yeah.
Right. There were quite a couple of surprises there, but I think Smith was one of the biggest ones for me because I think he's very good. He's more than warranted to be a team or two in this league for definite.
Some excellent attributes from Smith, but I mean, of course, people just remember him for breaking his leg from the ball hitting him. So that's the Risa moment. But of course, Risa not playing for Dangleys. Jim's subs were exactly what we thought there. So Juninho getting only his 3rd game of the season as he comes on. Surely it's the opportunity to make a bit of a difference for himself this season. Camara has been knocked down. Luis Garcia pulled the goal back. And there's Juninho to Smith for a goal. The 2 subs combining 3-1. Will we get this 3-2 that Mr. Savage was so, I say so confident on. But yeah, maybe he was. There it is, Aquilani 3-2. And with 10 minutes to go, we've got exactly the score. But Crouch has come close to scoring. This game has really gone for it in the last few minutes. A late chance. Vieira's taking a yellow card. Smith up the pitch again. Juninho, Van Nistelrooy. I think Agat was involved as well. And it is 3-2. We've, not so much laughed it off as thought that's not going to happen. And it did. Is there anything that Mr. Savage can't do in this division so far?
Good. You know what? Considering the hammering that's up there, they've done really well second half, Danglers. And I think there's plenty of work there for the new management setup.
Yeah, 2 shots, 2 goals, 2 shots on target there. What do I win? Maybe your match today, we'll find out, of course, in a bit later on. 23 shots, 13 on target, and only just coming out with a victory. But, fair play. They have the points, which is, of course, the most important thing. The goals. So we've got Ronaldinho again doing some great work, playing it into Rui Costa and getting that goal. And then Luis Garcia, from a Sheru free kick, Luis Garcia's beaten Vieira in the air. And then Janino it was who took on Staunton and played it in as Smith with a header, followed by Crouch knocking it down for Aquilani. So some of these players, Crouch and Aquilani, two players who barely played, combining for goals there. Lovely. And it just wasn't enough for Dangley's, but a spirited performance for them. And certainly some more passing going in the second half. Bischan did look absolute value for money there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I think one thing for me is I'd love to see a proper visualization of some of the things you see in this commentary. Luis Garcia getting above Patrick Vieira for an header, it's something I would love to see. I really would. I don't know how it happened, but but yeah, you know what? Silly Jimmy with a 6. That's probably best performance of the season.
Where is he there? Yeah, 6. 693.
9
Wonderful.
He's won 2 of 9 tackles attempted. So he's done better in second. I noticed he'd only won 1 of 5 in first half. So he's done a little bit better, 1 out of 4 in second half. Yeah, it just seems like they've got another gear in them there around here to really put them at sword.
I would say so. You know, they are certainly well, I've said a few games ago, title contenders. Now, definitely promotion contenders, but probably that little bit off the pace before this game to really make a difference. It all depends on what goes on in the other games today. And we'll move on to our second game now. But Van Nistelrooy, man of the match at the end of that one. Oh, Stackington. Stackington Colliery versus Atletico Newmills. And there have been some changes today. After a 3-2 win over Trumpton, we see that we're lacking Milevski today. So it's a complete changeover. Milevski is out for Saeed. And then looking into the rest of the team, I'm trying to think. So Saeed has moved back from defensive mid into defence. Romoshenko has moved back. Nikiforenko has moved back. Van Nistelrooy has moved back. And Musa Yahya comes in up front for his first start in the league this season. But he had played well in his previous substitute appearance.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that, it's a very, very strong side. A lot stronger than some of the teams the Stackington manager were probably putting out at the start.
Yes.
I would say the way that obviously the Stackington manager set up the way he has for most of the season, and I think with the massive shout I'll get another 3 points here, especially when Bradby are chasing Stackington 2 points behind. I did see somebody mention Yahya on Twitter, put it last week.
Yeah, and then you linked me in, didn't you?
I did indeed, because I know you were a Stackington favourite. But yeah, very strong side, and that back three. Well, 2 of the back 3. I'm not a big fan of Saeed playing at the centre half, but with Ndai and Gamera, there's a lot to break down there for anybody. But if anybody can, it'll be Brian Hughes unlocking the chest.
Michael Hughes. Imagine Brian Hughes in this league as well. That'll be
no, Brian, not Michael Hughes. I'm just getting me Irish so far.
Some skills there to have Brian Hughes. He was actually pretty good in my Birmingham save that I've done recently. So Big Noopy saying he made the mistake Steve warned him about a few weeks ago. Started tinkering too much, and now the team's all over the place. Now let's have a look. We didn't check the previous. I'm just going to go back to the Danglies. Not Danglies, not Dalgety Rangers. The Danglies, their previous result was actually a 5-0 win to Roundhay, so some huge progress for Danglies. Tony Warner was in goal back then. I mean, how the world has changed. Big Kid's here. Good evening, Big Kid. As soon as tinkering comes up, your name was straight on it. And for Stackington, last time around, this was 5-0 to Atletico Newmills, so yeah, anything is progress, surely. Surely, please. And for Atleti for today, they have had to make a few changes. They've got to change the system and gone three up front versus the 3 at the back.
That's going for it. That is going for it. Maybe I don't like doing it, but I'd maybe add a little arrow on Ferdinand to put like a with the ball DMC there to try and, just fill that little bit of space. But it's massively strong. Didn't expect to see that, in honesty. And I mean, I know I'm no one to talk about tinkering, as everybody knows within the community, but that's some firepower from Veron upwards. So it's going to be very interesting. This
very interesting is a good way of describing that, isn't it? Prediction for it then?
Oh dear, it won't be 5-0 like it was last game. Is that enough of a prediction for you?
Quite
Desmond.
You're 2-2. Going for the 2-2, right? I'll take that, to be honest. Torsten Helgemar, I've not seen him refereeing this time. It's 6-all prediction. I'd love that. We had a 5-all last night, didn't we, in the Super League?
Indeed. Absolute madness. Absolute madness.
4-2 to Athletic.
A record amount of goals, I would have thought, in Super League in one game as well. That.
Maybe so. Was there a 7-3 earlier? And I can't remember if there was a 7-3 at one point, but I don't know. Anyway, big
7-1.
Big kid going 2-1, so there's absolutely no love for Stackington. But I mean, fair enough. This is exactly. I mean, to reverse a 5-0 would be something, wouldn't it? Yahya has tested Barthez already, and it seems more Stackington. Yahya coming close again. He's really started lively this game, up against the 3 defenders on his own. And now at Sigarko, Yap Stam has got off injured, and there's only Saeed on the bench. Mr. Fortuna is here. Quinton, 2-2 prediction as well for this one. Savage went for 3-1. Now, I assume you bring in Saeed on in defence, Big Nate B. Unless you want to do something crazy. So I'll do it, but I'll wait for your approval. There we go. Said. I'm just hoping that Barthez goes off injured. There is not a sub-keeper. So we will see.
What is that?
And then Van Nistelrooy coming close for Atleti. It's now going sort of more end-to-end. Yahya denied a great goal. Van Nistelrooy scores. It's 1-0 to Stackington, which is infinite progress from last time they played each other. And a chance that Atleti, they could be forward again, but Yahya involved once more for Stackington. We are here at nearly half the hour, and it's been still more Stackington than their opponents. Romoshenko takes a yellow card in a dangerous position in their defensive midfield. More chances. Van Nistelrooy stopped by Barthez, and Van Nistelrooy with his second of the game and his 10th of the season. In there for 2-0. Playing an attacking mid today, of course, remember. And almost at half time, the 2 part of the 2-2 is correct. But it's for Stackington. And 10 shots, 10 on target, and that's something different.
Yeah, that's an extremely solid first half. I think, did Yahya, as I could say his name, did he finish on a 7? I thought his name was mentioned quite a lot. He was very involved.
He's pretty sprightly.
Yeah. I think, I can't see the LA team getting back into this at the minute. They've just gone a little bit too much up top, and obviously the three centre halves are dealing with what's in front of them a little bit at the minute.
Very true, very true. And Yahya seems to be occupying those 3 on his own. So Van Nistelrooy has been left free. It's almost like they're man-marking Yahya and leaving Van Nistelrooy free. So Barthez has made a save from a Van Nistelrooy shot, and Van Nistelrooy's followed it up and scored. And the other goal was... So Baumer has done some dribbling and played in Nikiforenko, but it didn't reach Nikiforenko, and Van Nistelrooy smashed it in instead. We'll go to Atleti just in case they want to make any changes at this point. First of all, Saeed, since he came on, has he's lost everything he's tried, really.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's been on for 35 minutes as well, hasn't he? So again, like I said, I'm not a fan of him at centre half. It's a tough one. There's plenty of improvement though. So there's plenty enough talent in that team if they can start getting on top to mix them out of the game. But Steckenham just look a little bit too dominant and a bit disappointing with Quim not letting anything in. So
and everyone 90% plus is a bonus. Obviously, Van Nistelrooy's a 4 shots on target. Yeah, he's up to an 8 now with his 3 out of 3. The Wolf man is in the house. Good evening, Wolfie. And yeah, since he's joined us at 2-0 to Stackington, and he's deciding Stackington are going to win this game. So we'll find out. But 60 minutes is where we'll see the changes. And straight forward again. Oh, I think they've put one wide. Now. And the game's all over, isn't it, really? But Agat's had a chance there as well for Stackington. This could have easily been 3-0. Agat again with a chance. And Barthez is injured. There we are. There is no sub-goalkeeper. So, Big Noopy, make your decision. This is Mike Duff, isn't it? But Mike Duff is your substitute goalkeeper you did call earlier in the season.
I think he's been known to, hasn't he? Has he been known to go in net? I'm sure I've seen somebody do all right with him going net as well.
Did Barthez go off injured in a previous match this season and have to have a goalkeeper? Savage says what everyone else is thinking.
Well, do you know what? If this were me as a manager now, I would ask you to click on Barthez and see what his injury is.
He's got to go off. He's actually being brought off the pitch. So he can't continue. And he's got a foot injury, but he won't be able to continue. He's being taken off. And who's got to play out wide for you then, Nippy? You've still got to play 3 at the back and 2 out wide with 10. We haven't got 10 men. You'll have 11 men. Bring in a sub. Is it going to be Gattuso moving into a right wing back position, maybe?
For me, he needs to get a goal back. It'd be Almanda for me to try and give a bit of attacking down there. Obviously, that's not.
The second time this has happened, and he still doesn't learn. I suppose if you think it happens once, it's not going to happen again.
You'd learn from first time, really, wouldn't you?
But yes, Elmander Holden can come on and play as right wing back. We'll go to 60 minutes anyway, as we do, and see if anything can change at this point. So Mike Duff is in goal.
I just think there's quite a lot of area for Stackington's AMCs to be playing with there.
They can't score yet. We go to the substitution. Now, Mike Duff is on a 10.
Do you know what? I'm going to watch it.
You have got a sub left. You have got a sub left if you want it, because you've got no goalkeeper to worry about. So you could make your third sub.
I am going to watch it back tomorrow and see what Mike Duff were on before you put him in net.
Yeah, it would be interesting, won't it? Ratings wise, you got Van Nistelrooy on a 6, Sigalko on a 6, and Ronaldinho on a 6. And condition wise, Sigalko is the slight worst one. Keep as it is. There we go. And for Stackington substitutes, Said is a bit shingered, so he'll come off, and we'll see Kamuna coming on in his place.
Dropped quite sharply from half time there, haven't they, really, considering how fit they did look.
It's an interesting sort of situation. They've come down with a couple of people a bit tired, I think. There will be another change, and it's going to be Volodenkov coming on for Ramoshenko, and Didier Gat is going to go and play in defensive mid, even though he cannot play there. He's going to do it anyway. So 2 subs, and saving the goalkeeper on the bench for just in case anything happens. Oh, we've had a chance there for Van Nistelrooy. And there's Volodenkov coming on and scoring for 3-0. It can't be 5-0 reverse, can it, from the previous part of the season? Van Nistelrooy's put one wide, and another one wide. He's not shooting on target since Duff is going to go. He's been put off by Mike Duff and his skills. This has been a very, very calm.
He's dropping. I'm just watching it drop now. It was 10, 9, 8.
He's had nothing to do since, and it looks like a very straightforward 3-0 win. That should have taken him to the sword there. But 3-0 and missing 4 chances in the second half. So Savage thinks that Duff was on a 7, so he ended up improving as a goalkeeper there. Only 1 goal conceded, which was better than Barthez.
Dominant. It's very, very dominant. Everybody keeps it tight at the back. If you're an opposition manager, again, you don't like a tight Quinn, but it's but at the start of the season, Athletic were really firing, and they just seemed to have
20 odd
lost
shots
away.
a game, yeah, it was huge. So Balmer's crossed it in, and Volodenkov, rather than doing any sort of shooting, decided that he would take on Veron and then put it in. Lovely. Take a look at how they've done. 10s for Balmer with 2 assists, and Van Nistelrooy with 2 goals. Yahaya's probably earned himself a start next time out. Van Nistelrooy probably in that attacking midfield position might work. So, yeah, obviously the goalkeeper situation wasn't fantastic there with Barthez, as Jim has added with that one. But yeah, Atleti show that they can still defend and have protected Duff pretty well at the end of the game there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and the big thing as well is that Elman has obviously put a bit of pressure on coming in at right wing back as well. And I think considering there's plenty to work with again there, I think a couple of his bigger players have just let him down a little bit to try and put a bit of pressure on stacking him.
Yes, good point. Otis versus Trumpton, and we have both managers in here. If Big Kid's still around with us, his team today, I did like this setup. You cannot plan to play against Trumpton Vice Squad. Last time round Trumpton played Otis, it was a 1-0 win. It was close, and it's down to Steve Phillips doing all the work really to keep this team in the game. It was a 12-minute penalty, something a bit different. There's Trumpton's team for today.
Arrow.
One word. And this is a Saeed run from centre back, by the way.
More arrows than Robin Hood. It's well, it's interesting. There's a lot of bodies in the from the halfway line upwards when they've got the ball, isn't there? So you know what, the way that Big Kids tackled this head on, and gone for having a bit of fun. But the thing is, he's kept himself highly competitive with a lot of formations he's putting out as well.
Yes,
so
yeah,
he deserves massive credit for everything he's done so far this season.
It's been absolutely a welcome addition to this league. Big Kids tactics truck has been going very, very well. Wolfie is fully back in the OTs. Well, this would be they've drawn 2 games in a row, of course, OTs since Savage has taken over. Bergkamp to captain Trumpton, and OTs going with I don't know, some sort of slight variant of a Stackington side formation. This is wonderful. The sweeper, Adamidis. They did play a sweeper last game and didn't lose. Rocco looks like he's got more of an attacking emphasis this time, and Graham Marchant in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen Marchant there. Although, to be fair, I think earlier in the season, did he play at fullback with a big arrow?
The giant arrow from right back.
So he's obviously got the versatility to play in and around wherever, really. It's a bit wild in itself, though. I don't know if he's trying to keep with the intrinsic nature of some of the players, I like Barakat and Marchant look like they're going to run into each other at some point, but it's very, very attacking as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting. It's the battle of the arrows. I know there's a couple less there, but I'm looking forward to this now. I've seen both tactics. Anything could happen here.
And the tactics master, Big Kid, says he likes the Ortiz tactic. I wonder if we'll see it in a Trumpton match. And Quinton says it's nice to see 2 original formations. He's going 2-1 to Trumpton. This could be any score. And up in the arrow game, yes, this will be see who's on target. Well, Ortiz with Peter Freudfeld refereeing this game. This is going to be something special. And we kick off. The commentary speed will be slow, of course, because we've now got the new manager fully installed, Mike Savage, at Ortiz. And, well, everyone running around don't know where they're supposed to be going. Veron's had an early chance. But then Ortiz had chances for Barakat, and I think someone else had one there, put it over the bar. And then still Whitley coming forward. This is much more Ortiz than we probably expected earlier this season. But Henry takes the lead for Trumpton. And I think it seems more Trumpton as soon as that goal's gone in. We're seeing a lot more of that colour scheme. But chances again going forward. Barakat's been quite influential for Ortiz. A chance for Marchant. He's put it over the bar. And Bent's had a chance as well, coming close. It's just not quite going in for them. And another chance for Trumpton. They've had two there. Henry unlucky with the second one of them. He dribbled around a few there. Saeed, I think it was disallowed. Saeed's run from centre back. If he played himself offside, that would be interesting. And it's 1-0 at half time. We'll just take a look at the goal first of all. It was there we are, 24 minutes into the game. So Vieira plays in Henry, who volleys it. Phillips with the save, and Henry's followed it up and scored. At the end of the half, Saeed did put the ball in the net. It was Vieira who was offside, but the run perfect there for Saeed so far in this game. Stats-wise, absolute domination for Trumpton. And if we were to tell the time for Trumpton, we were at 35 minutes and 54 seconds in play. Plenty of passing going on from Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, they've had quite a bit of ball, and to start a game, they did seem to have quite a lot of everything we're going on. We're going through the Otis, and I mean, if I'm being honest, last two games beforehand, I think Mike's been an absolute credit to this squad that he's inherited. I'm more interested, without being disrespectful, in what Mike will do once he gets off his own squad next season.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I don't think many of us would have chosen this squad if we could start at any point. I don't know. If you could start at any point, would you just choose to come in halfway through a season with a team you're not expected to win from and work with it maybe? But yeah, I mean, look at this. Aspin and Jamieson doing what they usually do, winning loads of tackles. If Nick Baker was on the pitch as well, we'd expect probably 6 or 7 from him as well. We've got some players who can really tackle here. Adamidis, a sweeper, in his free role, has been, just hanging around, doing a bit more of sort of dangly sweeper job, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Neil Aspin. To be fair, there's a couple on the Otis squad that I don't know, but obviously we know Neil Aspin. For me, he's one had more go than Dave Barnett. I know that's sacrilegious to a lot of people, but yeah, we'll see. I think Mr. Savage will have a bit of a field day next season, considering the results he's already got out of the squad, and now he's kept him in game today. He's going to be a bit of a force next season, in my opinion.
Yes, yeah, definitely. He's got some ideas up his sleeve. I've got vague ideas of what might be going on, but not been party to any final decisions yet. Any subs for either manager? Good question. We probably should have asked a little bit earlier on. 7 shots, 7 on target, coming from just 2 players of Henry and Veron. And yeah, look at all those tackles. Every outfield player apart from Ian Robin has won a tackle. In fact, every player apart from Ian Robin has won a tackle.
To be fair, I'm not seeing Vieira miss 5 out of 8, miss 5 tackles in the game. Well, yeah, I've seen my Vieira who's been pretty pants. So yeah, so I think that's all negates all that. But he's been good for Trumpton though. It's Trumpton's Vieira. So
Event foot is what we've got there for Daniel Bent.
It's a good return that we've got from Daniel Bent so far. 4 and 6 stars. That's it's very intrinsic.
Word of the day. Just wait. I'll give you another few seconds, guys, and then kick off the second half and play to 60, ever think about what you're going to do with your subs? I think Big Kid usually goes to 60 anyway. Leave until 60. Let's go. Right. Okay. And it's a penalty, and it's saved. Steve Phillips has saved a penalty and gone up from a 7 to a 9 instantly. With that penalty save, he's there again, doing what he does. And now Otis have come forward a lot more. A chance for Benton. It hit the top of the bar. Down the other end of the pitch, and it's going to be a shot from a free kick for Trumpton. So Phillips is on a yellow card now, but he saved the penalty. There you are, Mr. Savage. There's your team. 84 for Jameson. Is he injured? Nope, just old. Bent, we know he's injured. Mawson started lower on fitness, and he's got a potential foot injury as well. While you're thinking about what to do for your subs, then we'll look at Trumpton's side. And Trumpton, as it stands, we've got Okoronkwo down to 85 with a poorly foot. There's lots of foot injuries here. Kivu with a potential foot injury. And
Must be a bad thing.
Yeah, lots of bad feet. Bent off for Gote. If I could actually click on him, that would be good.
Yes.
I'll do that and then see if any other managers are coming up with their own changes here.
There's been an improvement in performance there in the second half from us as well. A few creeping up from 6s to 7s. So it's showing that they're not totally out of it. And with that Ibrahim Said missing that penalty.
It was indeed. It's a rarity. Only 5 empty seats at the ground today. I'm going to do what Trumpton's suggestions on here are, basically. So we'll have a look here. Let's have a little look at this then. So, I mean, Kivu is carrying an injury, certainly. Do they have someone who can... I mean, Okoronkwo can go and play at left back. But he's also carrying a bit of an injury. I would probably just take Kivu off at this point and move Okoronkwo to left back and bring on Njai.
Yeah, or Taribo, but I mean, I know Taribo's left centre, but I hate that he's right footed.
Kivu off for West. We'll undo that substitute then. Kivu off for West. That's fine. We'll undo that sub. It's a big kid. He's making his own subs. That's perfect. That's what I prefer. If either of you have another sub, just give me a shout of done if you're done or something like that, and then I know that you're both ready to go on.
I've just got a little bit of OCD with that, with footedness and where people have got what they can kick it with and where they play.
Yeah, right. So Okoronkwo off for Njai. Brilliant. We'll do that one. There we are.
Some back. I mean, it was good before, and I think it's improved the back five as that actually.
Yeah, it's looking very strong at the moment. Plenty of tackles being won. Ortiz, Aspin has won all of them. I think that Savage is done with his subs. He'd have told me before, I think, at this point. So, let's crack on. And the commentary slowed back down again. It's still 1-0. And we've not had much going on at this point. Savage was done as well with his subs. That was good. Mawson's had a chance. Coming close to an equaliser. Mawson misses the target this time. And then down the other end, Said scores from his centre-back role. He finally gets himself a goal. And 10 minutes to go, 2-0. And Jai coming forward as well for Trumpton having a shot. But this one's been an intriguing performance from both sides, and it looks like both teams really up for some tackles. 2-0, will it be 2 at the end of Gote with a chance as well? And a chance for 3 from Veron? No. Another one maybe. Good save from Steve Phillips at the end of the game. And 5 minutes of injury time into the game. Patrick Vieira, 8-10, and the man of the match. The Massive Arrow certainly did do a job there. If you do like Massive Arrows, go on 97.98 and do the Quinton Fortuna move of putting Luis Enrique at sweeper with a run. In which, of course, you might do that next time with a free roll. So plenty of shots, 22 shots, 13 on target. Ortiz only providing 2 of those.
I think they deserved a goal at least there. They seemed to put a lot of pressure on.
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of time.
yeah. Just shots off target, wasn't it? Really.
Say what, Adamides though, an 8 from sweeper.
It's
First
quite
time I
rare.
think I've seen that.
No.
Ever seen that in my time?
I don't know if you did it last time. I'll have to have a look and see if you did it before. But yeah, it's rare for a sweeper to do so well. So it's Rio Ferdinand has managed to dribble past Rocco and played a crossing and Saeed scored. So that's 2 centre backs combining with a lovely cross and finish for the goals. Ortiz, yeah, Adamides managed to put in 5 successful tackles in the second half. That's been 11 out of 11.
That's phenomenal. I don't think there's any other word for it. So I said you can stick your Dave Barnett's up where sun don't shine. Neil Aspin is the man.
And Wolfie will have heard that one just as he's leaving. Maybe he'll be thinking of getting the aspirin next season. But yeah, good night, Wolfie. Good to have you on Division 2 show. And then, Vieira. So he only won 5 tackles out of 12. So he ended up losing some more in the second half. Ferdinand was very solid in defence, got the assist. I thought he played very well. And yeah, it was a very, very good performance from Trumpton. Robin managed to keep up not putting a tackle in successfully.
Yeah, I mean they've had a lot of ball, and you can see there's from the passing stats they've had a hell of a lot of balls. So they've done. They've again, have they got out of second gear? I think they still deserve a lot of credit for where they performed again. And I think 2 draws and a loss in the last 3 games is far better than any of the previous form they've shown.
Yes, yeah, back to defeats, unfortunately for Otis. But we're on with the next game. Los Saracas and 76ers. These teams have played each other. This must be their 4th meeting of the season. So let's have a quick look and see how they've been getting on against each other. Played in the cup final, of course. Yeah, so 3 meetings. 76ers have won 2 of them, and they drew a leg of the cup semi-final, which has been classed as neither a draw nor a defeat, which is interesting. Yeah, 7 goals to 5. This is really close between them. We had a 5-4 aggregate cup final, of course. And so 76ers lined up this time round with the formation they've played before, and minimal changes to the team. In fact, are there any changes is the question. I think there's been Duff in for... Is Duff in this team? Duff for Cafu, I think it might be the only change.
Well, that's as much as Mike Duff is an absolute legend. That's a very surprising move for me.
I think it might be. Let's see if Cafu played last game. Yes, he did. Yeah, so Duff in for Cafu, and that was probably the only change. It's not a bad side though, is it? And Takanadi has been doing well since he moved into that position. He's got, I think, 2 in 2.
Yeah, weren't you playing in DMC with the arrow back to defenders
Yes.
earlier on? Yeah, so I think at DMC's the way it's playing, and obviously he's off the ball. He's putting him there. I think he's going to get more out of him doing what he's doing with him now. And it's strong side, top to bottom. Really, really, really strong side.
Yes.
And,
it should. They've won the cup for a reason, haven't they, this season? Obviously, not every team entering the cup, of course. Los Saracas last time lost to Dalgety Rangers. This time around, totally unchanged squad. And yeah, we've seen this team a few times before. And hopefully we'll get Dan Hazard back in the show soon enough. But yeah, it's got its Newcastle players. It's got what it is, and there's no point analysing a team we've analysed before. So we can save some time doing that one for today. Stefan Wittberg refereeing, and we'll see if we can get any goals from this one. There's been goals every time they played each other, 12 in their 3 games. early chances for 76ers, and then down the other end of the pitch, Riquelme's had a shot that Buffon couldn't hold. It's a red card, and it's Wilfred Balmer, and obviously they're going to need a left back, of which, I mean, Okoronkwo is there. I mean, would you pull one of the attacking mids?
Yeah, well, that's going to be the way it's which one in it. And for me, the weakest one out. To be fair, I don't know.
I
If
mean,
this were me, I'm not gonna say do it.
you're going to say put Nedved at left back?
Either Nedved at left back, or I'd be pulling Del Piero or Milevski and letting the three AMCs run at it, because I think
I think we will leave him with a striker.
Riquelme, I know he's been in my team for a couple of weeks. I think he's back to deceive. I saw somebody say that he was a joke on game, and
Yeah, the other day.
jumped on it, yeah. I think they're completely justified. I think there's only David, who was a great lad, by the way, who absolutely gets numbers out of him time and time again. But yeah,
Just
it's a
take
tough
a
one.
look at the three. Yeah, Nedved's played every game, though. The one who hasn't been playing every game is Rui Costa, 6 games, 7 sub appearances. So I think we'll withdraw him and put Milevski on.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't be averse as well if it were me to be losing one of his centre midfielders going against the formation of the Iraqis. Obviously, they're putting a lot of pressure on the DMC area where they haven't got none anyway. So they're going to be forcing back a bit. It's a tough one, isn't it? It's probably actually one of the most awkward decisions I've seen, actually.
If it goes wrong for them later on, then as we're making this change, we'll take off one of these and put on an attacking mid later on. But we'll have to do it that way, I think. So Rui Costa coming off, if it will let me click properly, for Milevski, and Milevski going to left back. After all that, there we go. It's a good job we didn't spend time talking about Los Aracas. The penalty goes in, and it's a goal for Ronaldinho. And so the pressure is really on the 76ers now to see if they can come back in. Takanadi's made a foul. Shearer's had a chance. Woodgate makes it 2-0 with his first goal for the club. And again, we're likely to get plenty of goals in a match between these two. 20 minutes in, Bowyer's taking a yellow card for the Rackers now. And it's pretty tricky to call this, even though it is 2-0 and they're down playing against 10 men. 76ers are not out of this game. Shearer's had a chance, he's put one off target. He's putting too many off targets. He's Takanadi. Right, there's a lot of fives going on for 76ers at the moment, which is a massive, massive problem for them. They have looked better than that. And I'd be glad to get to half time. And as soon as it did go to half time, they will wear sixes again. Just Cannavaro on a 5.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, looking at it, I think some of the defenders there. I saw somebody that we know. We're in a WhatsApp group. We're saying that Nesta's best player on game. I totally disagree with that. In honesty, in terms of ratings, he probably might be, but looking at that, he scraped that 6 just before half time. And I don't see it. I think big job on here in second half of 76 to try and get some out of this, in fairness.
So Big Noopy thinks that Bowyer's going to get sent off. I thought he meant Bowyer joining Balmer. I was thinking the Balmer for Oracas then for a second. So it was a foul from Balmer on Sigalko in the box, and then after he was sent off, he kicked the ball away as well. So not really the best action there. Penalty, sent the keeper the wrong way, Ronaldinho, and then Walter Samuel heads it down for Woodgate, and it's 2-0. Oracas, it's Walter Samuel again. Last time round he was firing in the tackles in the first half, and he's doing it again.
It's extremely solid, isn't it? It shows that 76 is probably a little bit more pressure than it seemed as well.
To have that many tackles needed.
But it must just be sort of wherever the ball's going, he's just pushing all of the defenders out of the way and saying, "Go, I'll sort this out."
Just letting Lee Bowyer do a little bit of it as well, and then it's all Walter. because Ronnie Hudson's put 2 successful ones in and Woodgate just one. Woodgate's been too busy scoring. And yeah, I mean, Cannavaro, Nesta's won no tackles. Cannavaro won 2 out of 3, and somehow he's on a 5.
A key header as well. I think it's he's completed 9 out of 11 passes. I think it's a bit of an anomaly, isn't it? Really, that I think it's a bit harsh.
It is a bit harsh. I mean, it was a bit harsh with Costa going off as a substitute as well after just 8 minutes, but it was absolutely necessary. Second half kicks off. Will we get ourselves any more goals in this game? Or will we get that Lee Bowyer red card which has been called so far? It's 3-0. The game is pretty much over, isn't it now? And it was Riquelme, of course, getting that goal. And Riquelme was considered to come off for the opponents.
I do need to apologise to 76ers there for me slating his Riquelme has caused the other Riquelme to take offence to it. So
yeah, we won't be making any subs for Iraqas unless anyone goes off injured at this point. And for 76ers, they're having an absolute nightmare. We'll go to the playbook of Lazarus. So Los Hughes, he says Sigalko for Del Piero if he's not scored. We will do that. And Nikiforenko for the lowest rated attacking mid. And I mean, do we do that or do we play just the one sub, thinking that they might lose another player?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's not unknown for Nedved to be on a 6 for a start. If I were going to do it, I'd probably switch him for Takinardi and swap him and Van Bommel. And let Van Bommel run back to that DMC and let Nicky have his centre midfield role. But
it's definitely going to be one of these two coming off if we're doing it. And if not, we're going to leave him with a sub.
Riquelme's fairly steady there, isn't he? And Nedved can occasionally pull something out when you need to do. I think it's Nicky's Nicky, but
actually, the game is lost. Let's see if they can get a goal back. Let's see if they can get that goal back and do it, because the game is completely lost, isn't it? 3-0. So if they lose by 6, I mean, it's not any difference, is it? Let's crack on with it. It was one of those to consider, and then it's like actually it makes perfect sense to.
It's just been awkward, hasn't it? It's just awkward looking at the team and the subs not being able to have a clear. I can do this. You can do this. It's a strange one.
Yeah, when you had that red card early on and lost someone who you needed to then make a change to replace, it does make a difference. And it's a very, very comfortable 3-0 victory for Iraqas with a 10 for Ronaldinho, Bowyer with a 7, and everybody else is at 8s and 9s, which showed just what a dominant performance it was.
That's extremely solid. You can't. There's no disputing result there. Red card or not, I think even without the red card, I think they might have had a little bit much there considering how the players have played. Yeah, massive kudos to Dan for just letting things roll.
For not managing the game. Ronaldinho to Riquelme, and so Riquelme has managed to take the ball forward without really being challenged at all. Perfect for him. Obviously, we know Dan is extremely busy at the moment, and he will be back at some point soon, of course. And Ronaldinho doing a good job. Walter Samuel, 12 out of 14 in the end. So he only put in one successful tackle in the second half. That's all he needed to do. And then Van Bommel tried. Yeah, it's all right.
Okay. Again, Cannavaro's done okay there. I think it's justified him and Nesta swapping positions, but difficult really, isn't it, for him on back of that and how well that Iraqs have played to even justify anybody's ratings really.
Yeah.
Riquelme's completed 75% of his tackles basically, and he's still got a 7. So it's
put it down to a bad game. That's all we need to do with that one. Put it down to a bad game for them. It's almost like the engine's leaving it for you to play late, isn't it, tonight? Which if you lose, then sometimes your mood does change. So it's always best to put Radaby on last when you're on.
No,
Otherwise the
I'm
sock
not.
will be out. And
Am I that bad? Am I?
well, not bad. Just it does show. It does show. So Real E versus Grove. Real E, their change of formation has really worked to go for that
Yeah,
three at the back.
I think they're going to have to change the name to really every chance. Next time it's that putting your centre backs at fullback and running them in has been superb for him. Because when he were playing the 3-1, he were playing with two wide men, weren't he, and three centre halves earlier in the season. But he hasn't lost anything by doing that in terms of keeping solidarity and not conceding goals. So massively take me off to Matt for where he's kept it going while changing it up.
Yeah, well within the rules to do that, of course. It's a way of getting around the fact that you need to play two wide players and at least three at the back. Well, why not do it as just those three together? And yeah, it has been successful. Last time these two played each other, it was 4-0 to Real E. I mean, you could see a clear victory for Real E today, maybe, but will it be 4? Maybe. Maybe when you have a look at Grove, they've got a bit of a crisis at the moment in terms of personnel. So, yeah, we're missing Smirty, Defoe, Sean Davis. They're all missing from the team. And today, Steve Finnan is filling in at right wing back. So he's coming in there. He's just been brought back into the team. Saul Campbell comes in. And because of the sort of aversion to playing Tim Sherwood, then David Unsworth is now moving into defensive mid and leaving the back three as proper defenders.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't really want to, I mean, I know his position doesn't lend to it too much. Stephen can do a job at DMC though, so could put Lauren right wing back and put Finn in there. I know everything about Steve Finnan. I'm not like a stalker or anything, and it disgusted me that he would just get a squad number from Matt. Why put him in your squad if you're not going to play him until game 16 or whatever it bloody is? Thinking he should have a long hard look at himself in the mirror, even though he's been dropped for the Super League. But
So you don't
no,
play him anymore either.
yeah, it was just it's tactical. That's all it was. But yeah, it's a strong side on paper. It is a Grove one. You know, I really like his concept of Portsmouth, and there's enough players in there to keep them competitive. And there's a couple anomalies that you want to see do well. People like your Mersons, you know, just because they're there.
6.45 is not impressive, but it's Paul Merson. You can let him off.
Yeah, he'll be decent enough at banter after games, won't
he? Are you going for a Real E win?
Yeah, 1-0. 1-0. All over
1-0. It. Merson to score, Jim says, so it won't be 1-0 unless he scores an own goal. Well, we've kicked off straight away in Real E going forward on the attack. 3-1 to Real E prediction from Big Kid. And I would say this is definitely looking like Real E are going to take advantage of the positions that they're in at the moment and keep this run of form going. Oh, he's had a chance. It's a penalty, and David James has been sent off. Well, yes. I mean, looking at that, they obviously want to keep wing backs. We'll have a look and see if anyone's carrying any injuries to make it even easier for us. Nope, they're all on 97. I mean, one option is to drop the fullbacks, drop the wing backs to fullbacks and take a centre back off. That's one option.
You need to keep up with that. He's a walking red card at a minute, but look how well he's performing 11 minutes in.
Yes,
you know, so
he will stay. He has to stay as that defensive mid.
I think you're probably justified in what you were saying about
Zivkovic to come off.
Yeah, it's got to be John Curtis. Although it's all 1 or 2, he's still got a little bit of.
Yeah, Curtis has played a lot more. And I think that's Merson not to score. Yeah, I think that's going to have to be the way it is. Sander Vesterveld, we'll do the runs back up to halfway, so they're not losing too much by that, but that's going to help them out. Yeah, we don't have plans for what to do when your goalkeeper gets sent off. We've had one sent off and one injured today. We'll see how we get on. It's saved by Westerveld. He's come on and made the save, but I think the rebound went in, did it? For Van Nistelrooy. I'm sure he missed a penalty. If it went straight in, then I don't know what I imagined. But it's 1-1, and it is Paul Merson. He gets the goal. So Merson, he's just but Jim said Merson not to score, so he's wrong. And Vignal has gone off injured as well. This has been a nightmare for them. Well, Lauren will come on, and Steve Finnan will move to the other side. It's not going so well with the 3 players out already as it is, and now they've lost 2 more.
I'd be swapping Finnan and Unsworth there though, mate, because I think Unsworth's more dedicated to play at left back. But
well, Finnan has 0 for centre. For 1, sorry, for centre. He has a 1. He has a 1 for fullback and he's a 1 for centre. But he's got. In fact, he's got 1 for defensive mid, I think, probably, and 20 for wing back. And so it's where he is. So it was a missed penalty from Richard Dunn, David Dunn.
And by the way, if you can just write 6 numbers, any 6 numbers in chat, I'll go put them on lottery, and we'll.
Yeah, pick them from number 60 onwards. It's 1-1 at half time, despite the fact they're on 10 men and have lost 2 of their starting side. It's not bad for Grove at all, is it?
No, they're not getting back too much. I think it's got to take a lot of positives out of that first half, even after it read. It's. I think I'll be pretty disappointed they haven't been able to capitalise on 10 men at the minute, but there's another 45 to go, and they've just got something about them, Grove, haven't they? They can pull goals out. I think.
Yeah, they're a fighting team, certainly.
Dario Silva just don't like starting, does he?
No, he does not. We won't make the sub at this point for them. And for really, they're doing 60-minute substitutes and so on. They've barely put tackles in, really. Southgate, not many passes, but everything he's done apart from heading has been really good, and he's only on a 6, probably down to his yellow card. It's solid. It's working out for them so far, but not well enough. Let's get to the 60-minute mark. And it might be a lot quicker than we expected because nothing is happening. And there we go. One last chance before. Oh, it's a free kick on the edge of the box. And we will see. I think it's time for Dario Silva to make way for Kanu.
He don't like starting. He don't like being brought off. His yellow hair will be going bright red with in anger.
So he's due to only having 1 leg, he can only play a certain part of the game. And for really, they have 2 planned substitutes, and I believe, well, I'll just follow what it says. So Dunn off, and it's Kieran Dyer to come on. And the other one is, this time it is Van Nistelrooy to come off for Viduka. There we are. It's rare to see Van Nistelrooy coming off. Yep, Grove subs do typically score after 60 minutes, so maybe Westerveld will get on the end of one and score. You're right there, Quinton. Half an hour left. And we've had 5 substitutes made in this match already. Will there be all 6 needed? It's really in front, and it was Rio Ferdinand scoring the goal there.
I think that's been coming from Ferdinand where we're playing as well. He's had a really good game so far, hasn't he? I think he was on 9 at one point as well. So
and the goal dropped him down, maybe. Merson's had another chance to score. This is still going to be a thrilling end to the game. It's 2-2, and it's Berkovic. Isle Berkovic scoring the equaliser. Look at that red, yellow, yellow, yellow up there. It's like some sort of traffic lights going on. And a red card. It's Richard Wright sent off. That's both goalkeepers have gone. It's going to be one of these centre midfielders coming off.
Is there a penalty? That's what we need to.
Well, actually, Saha is attacking. Yeah, we could put Bowyer into attacking mid and take Saha off,
Yeah.
or just leave Saha off the pitch. I don't know. Just do that. But then again, I probably would put.
I mentioned this to a couple of other lads in terms of another league. Mark Viduka, for some stupid reason, is less than 1% attacking midfielders playing striker. Just for your knowledge.
The CM Scout knowledge of it, but it would also put him as being 60% as a centre back, things like that. But yeah, it's interesting stuff, isn't it? So, I mean, yeah, they need a goal if they're going to go behind on a penalty here. So we'll leave two up front, move Bowyer forward, and do that. Well, wow, Merson, was that not a penalty or something? Because it didn't even look like it'd be saved or missed. It wasn't a penalty, so he's out of his box.
I tell you what, Grove deserve probably the utmost credit of the night so far for that. Considering that,
So he came out of the area and played it with his hand or his arm, and that's what it was. So Merson took the free kick. Yeah, Grove deserved something from that, didn't they? In the end, it was absolutely entertaining match for everything that's gone on.
right? Exactly. You look at the stats there, even as it comes.
Yeah,
You know, a really good game. Yeah, it's probably been the most entertaining game of the night. In fairness.
So Zivkovic played 12 minutes, and as he went off, he went up from a 6 to a 7. It's a real cameo there of doing the job. So Paul Merson, he managed to get an 8. I mean, that's probably doubled his average rating for the season. Going on with that,
Yeah, they were in amongst a lot of it, weren't they? They were. To be fair, I think Jim needs to take a lot of credit for the way Merson's performed.
he can have the credit himself. Yeah, it's. I mean, Canu's come on and done a good job as well, which is great to see. Some, the substitutes for Portsmouth, whoever comes on up front, does a good job. Vieira, man of the match again. Rio Ferdinand down to a 7 at the end. Van Nistelrooy went off. He did a good job. Richard Wright sent off. I mean, Bosnich, will he play the next game or will they be going for their other goalkeeper? Is that Chris Kirkland in this squad, is it? I think. I can't even remember now.
Yeah. I know I'd be putting in anyway, but that's not for me to say.
They haven't got Mike Duff, so they can't. Gondor versus Dalgety Rangers. What a difference. Two teams here. Last time they played each other, it was 2-0 to Dalgety. Really early in the season. This is like round 1 or 2. I can't remember which one round it is. It might even be round 1 from the season played again. And Van Nistelrooy and Brocek with the goals. This time round, Van Nistelrooy is up front with Elbert, and it's no changes. Ross decided that he would make no changes at all to today. He was quite happy with how his team's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's solid, isn't it? You know, where the team's going, the results have been getting. Difficult to change it up. I do think, depending on if you're playing Pablo Aimar, I think you need to be able to get hold of him with your own personal instructions to get something out of him properly. That's just me personally. But it's
littered. Season. That surprised me actually. It shouldn't surprise me because I do make the stats things by typing in stuff, and he is in the leaderboard. But
shows how much attention you pay to your own.
Yeah, I just type it in and as I go, and don't really pay attention.
That's one of the best seasons I've seen from a Pablo Aimar ever, in fairness, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for that, for where he's playing him. So
yeah, centre mid. So yeah, we've got some injuries going on today, haven't we? With what's going on with the two squads, Dalgety, they can be heavy favourites for today against a team that haven't won and only have one draw. And we've got Chris Coleman back in the side today for Gondor, and McLeod has replaced who was it in midfield? He's replaced Paulo Sousa, so he's replaced him in there, and Paulo Sousa with the injury, so It's just a bit of reshuffling really for the side. Yeah, it's still not going to pick up points, surely.
No, I can't see it. I mean, I would have still put Stuart Roberts in there personally. I think he's really good. He's only one you can pick up really, really cheap, really early. But yeah, it's on the face of it. There's some really good players. I mean, Alan Tate, he can grow in. He can have his saves from time to time where he grows into a really, really good defender. Sidibe, he gets goals. Especially when you start with Swansea at lower levels, but he's obviously found it a little bit tough going.
Yeah, against its a league full of Barteses and such like. Notice that Alan Tate's the only defender who isn't unhappy. He wants to commit his future to the team, so he's quite happy with that. The rest of the team, well, it's yeah.
The one thing I'm not surprised at is Gary Monk's unhappy. I don't think he's ever seen happy. Pillock. But anyhow.
Anyhow, indeed. Prediction for this one then?
You can't see past Dalgety. But Roger Freestone's had his moments this season as well. 3-0. 3-0 to Dalgety.
Well, let's get going. And it's Wooder is in. I mean, unfortunately, Danglies have already played. But good evening, Wooder. You need to enjoy your game. It's 1-0 to Gondor, and James Thomas has scored. Well, I don't think any of us. It's 2-0, and Cedric van der Hoon has scored, and then 2-1. Elbert pulling a goal back. Aymar's having a great game with a 5 so far. Melville's taken a yellow card. It's 2-2, and Aymar has scored. This is going absolutely crazy so far. 3-1 prediction is already ruled out from Quinton, but we were expecting a Dalgety win. Wood has arrived, and this is really on. Wood, enjoy your game later on. It's well worth watching that one. 3-2, and Riquelme has turned it around completely. And it's a red card. Andy Melville. Wow, breathless. And I think this will be if McLeod has come in to replace someone, he's probably the first man to come off. Yeah, McLeod will come off and be replaced by Dennis Lawrence in a straight swap.
When if that were me and I would been attacking so well, I'd just be throwing Coleman central there and just keep it going.
They're losing now, and they I know he's never played a 3 at the back in this season. But I know what you mean. And it's like you always feel like if you had your own option to do something there, that's exactly what the kind of thing you might do at this point. We've been through the Magnus talk already. Yeah, it's none, isn't it, Steve?
Oh mate, I'm Magnus free tonight. Would have been sensible for a change.
Yeah, but then of course revealing what you have actually had instead.
There's always a but.
Let's have a look at the goals and things so far. So Tate throwing, Sidibe crosses it in, and Thomas scores. And just a few minutes later, we have had Lampard playing in Van der Hoon with the goal, but then Riquelme to Albert, then a yellow card for Andy Melville, a free kick from Aymar, and then the third goal for Dalgety, which turned the game around. This time on Riquelme, a free kick after a foul on Van Nistelrooy from Paul Williams. What a half of football. And you can tell there that Gondor have been complete tackle shy, and that's why Dalgety have got straight back into it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? They've had a real chance there, getting themselves that far in front of getting a really good result against a really good side, and hopefully try to turn tide in terms of morale. They've got complacent, just sat back. And no, it's not balls. I have not touched a drop of Magnus today. I have not.
Well, we are only 47 minutes into today, so yeah, Nesta has been throwing himself around this game. He's doing a decent job there. The passing has been very short for Dalgety in terms of numbers, not necessarily how they've actually passed the ball. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting second half. I could see another 2 goals, I guess. Substitute wise, well, we're not making any there for Gondor at this point, and Dalgety will be fine.
I don't think the Nesta's really harsh there. He's won.
Oh, it's 4-2. Elbear gets that goal. Yeah, it was harsh on Nesta. He's looked pretty strong. Sidibe with a chance, and there will be a substitute now. It won't be for Gondor, of course, but I've switched to the other side. So Gondor have a free kick, I think, on the edge of the box. Aymar, we're going to take Aymar off at this point. And, what are we? Because let's just check what the instructions are again on this team. Because I think, is this not just the straightforward instructions from this side of 6 or below? 6 or below. It's 60 minutes. And they don't take off defenders. So I will take off Walter Samuel, though, on a yellow card for Okoronkwo.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. He's been in a lot of games tonight, throwing himself about a lot. He might just be losing his head. He's played that many games tonight.
Especially all those tackles he put in for Rackers. Yeah, that will be the only change there for the sides. On with the rest of the game, it's been 6 goals so far. Commentary slowed down again with Gondor being the first match, with Jack Swan the second in charge. Emerson takes a yellow card. We've had 6 goals in this game. It's gone a bit quiet in the second half, but I did say there might be a 7th. It'd be good to see one, whichever way it goes. And it's gone a bit stale towards the end of the match. Nikiforenko, there it is. It's 5-2. Dalgety cementing their place at the top of the league. Coleman takes a yellow card, and we are almost over. It is over at 5-2. Riquelme, man of the match, and yeah, it was a very entertaining match.
You know what? They've from that initial conceding a couple of goals, they've really showed the class there. Dalgety and showed why they're probably likely champions. Them sort of results, dragging yourself out of, it don't matter who you're playing 2-0 down, to drag yourself out and really give somebody a bit of a stuffing. Certainly shows the credentials as, for me, they're definitely 100% going up, and more than likely at this present minute they're going to win title.
It is quite possible, isn't it? We didn't actually look at the red card and how it came about then. So, second yellow card. Attack on Aymar, foul on Aymar. Elbear from Nikiforenko just takes it down and just takes on the keeper and puts it in. Lovely. And late on in the game, Nikiforenko plays it to Riquelme back to him, and it's a quick turn round Makelele, round Lampard, and what a goal that sounds like. Yeah, it sounds like one of the best goals of the day. Good stuff for them. Gondor, the tackles really didn't happen apart from Coleman and Dennis Lawrence. 5 tackles out of 5 at the end of the game there. So a good substitute performance for him, and he'll slot straight in for Andy Melville next time, I imagine.
Well, he's one of them. He's always pretty decent. His stats, never really make you think that he's good, but you always get normally good numbers out of him. But he's a sweeper, defender centre as well, isn't he? So maybe get him on that. If he can win all them tackles, maybe a free roll with a long arrow, he might I don't know, invigorate the season for Gondor.
Get some goals as well. Riquelme didn't bother putting tackles in, didn't need to. Just very creative. 2 assists and a goal, 3 key passes, looking great there. And Emerson doing a decent job as probably the most defensive of those 3 midfielders, without a defensive mid, I guess.
Yeah, I still think Nesta's been done to there.
Very much so, yeah.
50% of his headers won, and the one he did win with key. So I think it's a little bit hard done to, but I think where he's going at this present minute, Pablo Aymar's been the player of the season for me so far. I know he's probably not got the best rating, but for somebody to be getting them numbers out of him is very, very good. Massive hats off to Ross.
very good performance. And here we are, last game of the day then. And it's No Place I'd Rather Be versus Dublin Blues. And a few games ago, these two teams were at very different ends of the table, quite a lot of points apart, but rather be picking up the points. And Blues not doing so. Last time they played each other, it was just a 1-0. And it was a David Collins goal on the stroke of half time. So, what were the stats? Let's have a look at those.
Oh, don't look at that. Don't look at.
Yeah, you can say what you like until you're backed up with stats. Of course, your last game was a 2-0 win over Gondor. Not 5, but 2. That was good enough. And today, changes wise, we've got Tomasi in it right back, haven't we?
We have, yeah. We're Mike Duff being injured. It were one of two things to do. It were either bring Steve Finnan in, who I never really get playing there, but I wanted to bring Vieira in because I want this pathetic Vieira to start playing a little bit, which, as you know, I played the season through on this. I holidayed everybody and told them to stick to their tactics that they had selected at that point and don't buy any players, blah, blah. Ended up creeping up to 6 in table. I think I went through the rest of the season, actually, not losing and drawing 2. And Vieira were a big part of that. So
here's his chance.
Yeah, give him a chance. But Tomasi's been a bit undroppable, really. He's played really well. So
big kid likes your team. Probably doesn't like your formation, but he likes your team.
There's not enough arrows there, is there? But yeah, you know, I think Tomasi can do that little bit in defence. And I genuinely think a lot of the turnaround in form as well has been bringing Toldo into the team. I think he's been unreal actually since he's come in. So
yeah,
I think Oliver
very solid.
He's got a lot of mistakes in him at times, but
so a big kid questioning the choice of Crespo, really. 4 out of 12 league games is not the best return. Thinking there are better options. Tomadera with 2 in 3 starts. David Collins, 3 in 4 starts. And Vieri, no goals. So, yeah.
From though, but it's an OCD. I cannot put David Collins up front. There's no chance, no way made on the surface playing up front. So, yeah, Tomadera probably deserves to play, but I've got, as you know, I've got a bit of a loving for Crespo. So,
and of course, we received the sad news about a year late that unfortunately Wanderers of Wolverhampton star player Antonio Fortes, at however old he is, 82, he unfortunately has passed away. Our thoughts go out to anyone who ever knew him, and of course to me, who discovered him on Chop Manager 102.
I think he deserves to start next game as a.
There will be the 10-second silence before the next Wolves game as we go into that one. So, Dublin Blues, who also go unchanged. Manager Graham Dunning decided that he was going to have a nice day out of drinking, so why not? And he's left his team unchanged. And the second in the league, it's a decent team. It's obviously a formation I like, but with a few less arrows on.
Yeah, he's to be fair, I think all in all, as good as my team is on paper, I think that's a better all-round 11 than mine.
It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, the wingers going against my fullbacks are going to be the big sort of difference. I think Zeriberto for me is one of the best players on the game. His assists are just stupid, absolutely stupid. The only person I've actually seen get close to Zeriberto's assists that I've ever had myself is Agostinho. So yeah, it's going to be really tough. I do think we've got a little bit. I think Kieran Dyer's going to have his work cut out with Veron and Riquelme in that centre midfield. To be fair, but
only his second game.
I'm really going to say something really stupid here because I know he'll score from me saying it.
Totti?
I don't think Patrick Vieira will have any trouble negating Totti. Collins is a different matter, but you knew what was coming, didn't you?
Yeah. A clear call there. And I think Totti has had a decent season. One of the better seasons I've seen for a human controlled version of Totti. But yeah, I do know what you mean. Vieira should do this. And for ourselves, let's do this. Rune Larsson refereeing. Prediction for yourself. Are you making one?
Yeah, we're going to win. How many did really concede one?
It's 3-2, I think, was it?
No. We've got a chance here to give ourselves best defensive league. So I'm going to say
I
2
think
or 3.
Blues. I think Blues are 6 goals better off than you before this
Two,
game.
two,
I think they've
two
only
or
let in
3.
12. Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah. Sorry, I didn't even say that. I'm there thinking it was going to be late. So,
So you're going to win
I'm going
this 7
I'm going
0.
to 7-0 to give us best defensive league. Yeah.
Big Kid going for 1-all. Jim going for 2 Totti goals. He's not been wrong today, apart from when he changed his mind and decided it wasn't going to happen. So here we are. It's 0-0. And it's still 0-0. And nothing. There's been plenty of action, actually, I'm just saying. But Dede is looking pretty lively for Radaby. A yellow card for Kieran Dyer. Maybe he's not going to last the game. Even this Paolo Maldini's taken a yellow card as well. It's 0-0 still after 15 minutes, but there's been chances. Players just tend to want to be on a 6 at this point. Not many people developing further forward. Veron's come forward, had a chance as well. And it seems a little bit more Radaby at this point. Nestor on a yellow card as well, though, defence-wise. And Nikiforenko has come off injured.
Oh. Decision. It's got to be Collins, isn't it?
Phil.
That's took a bit of deciding that because my boy Bowie nearly come on and Verona Raquelme went there, but no, it's got to be Collins. He's done well at it so far. So
Yes, indeed. Let's get
his
him.
ratings.
He's better than Boyer this season. Definitely done better than Boyer for you. And it seems like this just pressure still going on from Radaby. Blues have barely got going. But now Totti! It is Totti who's scored. You called it. Jim called it. And it's 1-0 at half time. It's Francesco Totti versus Francesco Totti. No
if I'm
shots.
honest, that's balls. Is that's totally not a rhubarb. Is that?
There's definitely been chances. They've just not actually put the ball towards goal. That is the only shot of the half.
If I tell you what, if Toldo's on a 5 here for that, he's coming off because Khan will get an 8. That's what will happen.
But,
always happens. If the keeper's on a 5, you bring a keeper on, he gets an 8. It happens every time.
Yeah, playing the ball in. We've got a deflected free kick shot that didn't get towards the goal. We've got a goalkeeper's gathering a ball. The keepers have just been alert. So all of these chances, a header from Veron went over the bar isn't counted as a shot. So headers aren't shots, maybe. This is really interesting to see this sort of stuff because we've had chances and it's been the only goal, a volley from Totti. Well, that's something different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Told us on a 6.
Yeah, I'm not going to pull him for that. To be fair, it's. I'll have Bowie for Riquelme, please.
Yeah, there we are. Do you want Boyer on the right of the two, or?
No, hang on a minute. No. Can I take that back a minute? Please?
Yeah, of course.
Can I have Bowie for Vieira?
Boyer for Vieira.
Swapping with Tomasi.
Yes. This is where you got Tomasi back into his position.
Yeah, he can do that.
If only Radaby had someone decent up front.
The
No,
pressure's not even on. So,
so he made 2 subs so far at this point during the game. For the Blues, I mean, yeah, the centre backs have done a lot of passing, and there's been very little going on in this game to liven up the stat screens. Subs for them, no, bad or tired at 60 is their rule, and we stick to that. Second half, and yeah, more stuff. I don't know if we've had any shots. Can't tell because everything I've thought about this game has just not been happening. Vieira's taken a yellow card. Sort of Toldo has made a save, definitely, and here we are at 60. So, just to check your conditions in case anyone's glaringly injured. No, Dede's your least fit player, but you'd expect that. That's what we're on. Any more changes?
Yeah, let's stick Big Shagger on then, and we'll see if
First
Big Kid. Yeah. There's no other way of doing it, is there?
For Blues, bad or tired at 60. Well, Dyer would class as bad on a 6 and a yellow card. And whether any of these two have got any injuries, nope, just lacking a lot of practice. So just to change of Kieran Dyer off, and their central midfield option.
Both on.
Well, the centre midfield option, really, the person who played best in centre midfield is Nicky Ferenko. He's better than Mikael May. Robin's not really there. So Nicky Ferenko will go and step on.
Yeah, I think that's probably about right, isn't it? It's,
I know you're not a big fan of him playing there, but I've just won with him in there.
so, I couldn't see where you're coming from with it, but I never get it out.
Ronaldinho's come close to scoring there. He's hit the bar. David Collins disallowed. Disallowed from Collins. And it's 2-0. And it's Van Nistelrooy. I'm watching from the other team's screen. Van Nistelrooy it is. 2-0. Going towards the end of the match. Totti's had another chance. Riquelme has had chances as well. Davy Collins. And there must be more than one shot in the second half. This has been another goal. Nicky Ferenko makes it 3-0. And it's full time. So, yeah, Blues keeping up the position at the top of the table. No shots on target. This is the Ranabee of 4 or 5 games ago.
I'm sorry, we battered them there. In my opinion, on the
It looked like it. It looked like it.
Battered them, and that's just.
That's
you
a
know
good way
what?
to sum it up.
Yeah, well, it does. It stinks of the way the season's gone. In fairness, big fair play to Mr. Dunning for putting a team out that can make a lot of chances that aren't seen in commentary. I don't know where that's a new idea.
This is quite a goal from Nicky Ferenko, though, isn't it? He's ran forward, taken on Nesta, and then Collins was last man, and he's put it in. At least Collins was trying. And when we look at the stats there, yeah, Collins has got a 5. He's got a 5 in the game. He had a goal disallowed. Nicky Ferenko was down at 40% with his injury. And
that's why we're tracking back that much. He knew he'd done knack all else to try to show manager that.
yeah, Nesta winning plenty of tackles, this time a 7. Nesta seems very, very rating low, doesn't he, for every team he's been playing for, despite the fact he's doing a decent job. Van Nistelrooy, 5 headers, 1 out of 14. That's Ronaldinho style.
Well, no, it's solid. I mean, you look at there's a few 8s in there, a 9. You know, it's obviously deserved. Looking at the ratings, looking at the stats, so no complaints really. It's just the commentary was just a little bit deceiving, really.
Hugely that first half, one shot with all that action. So the table, after seeing that 4 teams didn't score, we'll get straight into the table in a second because we always see the where people are. Yeah, big wins. Roundhay coming out victorious against Anglais. There we are, Wooder. 5-2 to Dalgety Rangers. A 2-2 draw between Grove and Really. Maracas overcoming the revenge for the cup final OT's first time under Mike Savage haven't picked up a point at least. Radaby's defeat to Blues and Stackington's win over Atletico New Mills. And there we are with the table. A 2-point gap for De Gers, as we were before. As many goals in the top 2 games as in Division 1 last night. Yeah, the 12 goals was all there was in Division 1 last night. You're absolutely right, Quinton. It's almost as if you were there. So yeah, 2 points there. Trumpton following, and Roundhay gain 2 places and move up from 6th to 4th. But they are 5 points off the top 3. Have we got a top 3 that look like they're going to go up? I don't know. I think all of those next 3 could cause a surprise. I think it is definitely 3 from 6. I'd say Dalgety look like they're going to go up. And then it's Atletico New Mills going to have to do a lot, aren't they, to get into that top 3?
Yeah, for me personally, I think it's third place that's up for grabs. I mean, if you look at the Blues, they've just drawn one more than Dalgety have won. And yeah, see when people get on that sort of form, that sort of role, difficult to stop it.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd say for Trumpton in third is, as fantastic as they've been, which has played a lot into the hands of why they're getting the results, could the mad tactics week in, week out start hindering them from here on in as we're getting towards the nitty gritty? They've got enough of a gap for it not to do, but I think the 2 teams below, especially, they'll be rubbing their hands that thinking that Big Kid's going to change it up enough for them to stay solid and stay. You know,
He's just picked so many good formations, though.
Yeah, you want to see it, but will it be an hindrance come nitty gritty time? I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
A very tough one.
Makes for a fantastic end to the season, anyway.
Yeah, definitely. If Atleti start dropping off, it'll be unfortunate for themselves and Big Noopy, of course. Stackington leading that group of 4 below there, 2 ahead of Los Aracas, and they have a 5-point cushion over Radaby and 76ers, who've dropped down into 10th at the moment. And really, their season is only 14 goals. Gondor have 12. It's something that Dangley's 2 goals again today have nearly got to double figures.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, 76 went in testing before it all started. 76 were up there. I think I've run through it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
76 main, but it just shows that, you know, we can download the save and play the next game, and regardless of what you try and do, you should not play the game. You should just go, see who's fit, pick your team, and then send you it back. Because you think playing that game, oh yeah, I'll do it. You play it again, you win again. You know, it just leads you into a false sense of security. You just pick your team, don't play it, and then just see what happens that night.
I don't get time to practice my own one, so I'm probably quite happy to do it exactly how you've just said there, Steve. Fixtures for next time. It's next week. I'm going to check whether there's a cup match in between, but there are some big games, and it's Trumpton Radaby. So if you say about the Trumpton formations, De Gers versus Grove. I mean, Grove can be any sort of team, can't they? Can be a real surprise. Atleti, 3 points on the cards, hopefully against Gondor for them. In terms of, well, we say hopefully, if all goes to how the formations and things go in the league. 76ers Danglies. It's 2 of the 4 lowest scoring teams up against each other. I mean, that's bound to be a thriller. And really versus Otis. Yeah, some big games. And Jim, Roundhay Stackington. Last time round, I think you gave me a stuffing 6-0.
Our fixture against Trumpton, we've got to fight fire with fire, tactic wise, aren't we? So we'll see.
I'm looking forward to that one. Swedish Cup, the next fixtures are not till Finspångs. Yeah, some good team there against Annual Home. That'll be a great game there. Really away, yes. Battle the Yellows.
Review that and watch it, just to enjoy it.
Look at the team of the week then. Yeah, it's Barthez. Despite the fact he went off injured, takes the goalkeeper's position there. We've got John Terry played his debut into Team of the Week. Balmer and Van Nistelrooy from Stackington. Ian Hart from Los Aracas playing on the left midfield. Bischan from Dangley's into Team of the Week. Yes, Jonathan Woodgate with his goal. It's a good side this week. It's a strange side, but it's a good side.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with any of the players that are in there. The teams that have done really well all night. So I think, Barthez still being there, considering he got injured. He finished really on a 9 when he got injured. I know you were praying to God's for it. I know you actually mentioned him getting injured. So
I did say before the game that was out of hope.
That commentator's curse. I think just before Tottenham scored in our game, it were Dalgate, the Blues don't seem to be much in this, and then bang, Tottenham scores. So I think anyhow, we're still fifth in the league. League that matters.
Gondor and Dangley's. Gondor not bottom of the table in the form table. Quick look at the key things that we don't often get a chance to have a look at. So round here, 4 out of 5 penalties, and they I can't remember when they did miss one, but into that one, one team. What's that? Really, none out of 1 for their penalties. For goals from corners, it's been 4 for really 76ers and Dublin Blues. 2 teams without goals from corners. Dangley's and who's the other one? Come on, play the game, fans. Get involved.
Blues.
They're Blues. Really? Nope, top of the list. Yeah, I like these games. What Aussies have? 76ers have. No, I can't even think what it is. That's a weird one. I've actually completely lost track of who it is. Los Aracas, was it?
No, there.
Oh, Grove, then it is Grove. Big Kid gets it with the winning thing there. Good. I'm not going to play that on the next one, so it'll take forever. 2 teams without a goal from indirect free kicks. And 3 from Aracas, Trumpton and Dalgety. Direct free kicks round here, 4. Great stuff from them. And 4 teams without a direct free kick. And that's one of them is my team, and one of them's your team. So, and then in yellow cards, 29 for Dublin Blues. And down at the bottom of that, the clean boys of Dangley's and Los Aracas. But then when you look at red cards, it's a bit of a different story. That everybody's had one this season. But some teams have had more than others. Gondor, Otis and Trumpton and 76ers all with 3. So, like I said, next games are a week from now, but it's the midweek round in our league this week. It will be on Tuesday night, so tune into that one. Hopefully an earlier start. It will be an earlier start, definitely. Hopefully by an hour. And I'm going to go outside and watch the sunrise now. Thank you very much, Steve, for your wonderful insight and things tonight. It's always a pleasure.
Nice. I always enjoy it, mate. What I would say is, for anybody who's watching it back, I know the lads are here watching. Anybody who's watching it back who haven't been on comms, get yourself involved at one point, even if it's just once. You might be nervous to doing it, but once you've done it once, you'll love it. Just get involved and just one night, just have a go, because it'll be good for everybody else to hear what's going on in the minds of others.
Indeed, yeah, I do enjoy having people on the show. Big Kid, Jim, thank you very much both of you for being on tonight. Thank you very much to Mike Savage and to Quinton Wooder for giving us a couple of comments and disappearing. Thank you. And who else has been on there? We've had Big Noopy earlier on tonight, Wolfman, all the stars. All the stars. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon. Good night.